Hi, everybody, and welcome to another My Light Bulb Moment with Brand Founders. And today I'm talking to Nicola Jones, who is founder of a brand called Face Junkie. This is a simplified skincare brand with a capsule range of products, hashtagged number 1 to 6, so very simple. Nicola has had over 20 years experience as a beauty therapist and brought her brand to market 20 years ago. 2 years ago, sorry. So we're really interested to hear about her startup journey. So I'll just wait for her request and then we can get chatting. So the brand is really nice. It looks really modern. I think we'll chat quite more, but I think it's mainly direct to consumer at the moment. Oh, there she is.
Hi.
Hi, Nicola. How are
Yeah,
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, really well, thank you. So, yeah, thanks for joining us. So, we're really interested in hearing about your startup journey so far, because you've been like 20 years as a beauty therapist and you launched the brand 2 years ago. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what was the catalyst for you launching your own brand?
Um, well, Face Junkie, I thought of really from day one in the early to mid 90s when I started in the industry.
Hmm.
I kind of had this feeling that I knew I was going to have the brand. I didn't know how, I didn't know when. It was a really just a very strong yearning to do my own brand. Only took me 25 years, but never, as they say. So yeah.
But you had that seed of innovation in your head about did you kind of think how you wanted it to be, or you just knew that you wanted to launch a brand within skincare?
I was doing aromatherapy mainly, so I wanted an aromatherapy brand, and then thankfully I didn't do it then because all those years of experience working with really lovely brands like SkinCeuticals and Medicate and all these kind of different aspects of beauty, the aromatherapeutic and the kind of sciencey uh,
Yeah.
brands as well. That completely went out the window, and then it just evolved into kind of a homage really to all the brands and all my favorite products that I've worked with over the years. So I'm quite grateful it did actually take over 2 decades,
Well,
because
yeah.
really sure, right, this is exactly the ingredients I want, and this is how I want it to, the end result for people.
Yeah, you must have had a vast experience of working with all different kinds of brands, in terms of like, well, not only how they feel on the skin, but their philosophy and ingredients, etc.
Really important. Yeah, really important as well. Just learning about the philosophy. I did product knowledge training, so that was when I really got into my forte, was just ingredients, and just learning as much as I could about ingredients, bar being a chemist,
Right.
which I had have been, but um, all that knowledge I had of ingredients has helped me so much with Face Junkie.
Yeah, I mean, it's the foundation of a business, well, especially a skincare business, isn't it? It's obviously knowing your ingredients inside out and also why you want to use them and what sort of like benefits they
Yeah,
bring the consumer.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so you obviously had that professional experience, like over 20 years, as we said. But what about the sort of commercial aspect in terms, so in terms of sourcing those ingredients and, someone manufacturing and the packaging? I mean, because all that's a different ball game, really, isn't it? Outside of the clinic.
Well, I researched the whole of 2019, really did full on research on ingredients. And then at the end of 2019, everything was fine. We'd ordered all the essential oils that we needed, and I never compromised on their purity. And then the pandemic hit,
Mm.
and the countries that we wanted to get it from had closed their borders, and it all kind of just went. I just thought, right, this is just not going to happen.
Right.
But luckily, during the lockdown, I did even more research and just spoke to people, and we finally got all the ingredients that we wanted, and just put everything together really. The biggest thing for me was the MOQs, the manufacturers. In the industry, their MOQs were so high, and I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
I didn't.
So just for someone that doesn't know, so that's minimal order quantities, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and
Yeah.
there was such a thing. I just thought, oh, I'll just find this lovely eco-friendly packaging. I'll order it and we'll make it look nice, and then I'll just put it to market. And then it just was the complete opposite. So we had just no, all the time from manufacturers, unless you want 35,000 units,
Which is a
we
lot.
can't. And I just thought, I can't do that quantity. So that was a huge challenge, huge challenge. It was a lot of stress.
A lot of startup businesses say that, because the MOQs are so high. And also there's not only that sort of obviously layout, but like, where do you stock it? I mean,
Yeah.
in terms of in your house or wherever.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Well, luckily, just from talking to past, people in the industry, and reaching out to people on LinkedIn and stuff, we did manage to find a UK manufacturer who both could produce the formulations and give us a relatively low MOQ, which was still quite a thing for us to reach, but we managed to do it. But I think that was really challenging. I didn't expect that
Yeah.
at all. Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because I think, like, when you launch a brand, you think of all the nice things, don't you, about launching a brand, and then, and then, like, you hit like, the ground with
Yeah.
reality, of all the commercials and what's expected of you as like a small independent brand. I mean, there's so much layout, isn't there, and so much to get your head around.
Yeah. It's funny because now I have seen, just from doing more research on other projects, there are manufacturers now that are doing low MOQs. So I think there are so many indie brands like mine coming out now and saying, look, we're a really good brand, but we just can't meet those ridiculous amounts of quantities,
Yeah.
until we start to grow. So maybe
But
it's, I don't know.
yeah, I mean, that's good to hear because, so many, and I do think also, like, after COVID, like, so many people getting more entrepreneurial. I mean, it kind of showed, we were locked down for 2 years more or less, and it made people think a lot more, didn't it, about maybe the jobs they were in or whether they wanted a new outlook for the future. So I do feel, people have got more creative, more entrepreneurial. So, you
Yeah,
know,
I last year, and I kept in touch with another business owner there who created her business, within lockdown. So,
yeah,
it's happened a lot, and people now, I think, they know it's possible, and I think people have got a lot more determination to follow their dreams.
yeah.
Since COVID. I think there's been a mental
No,
shift.
I agree. Yeah, there's definitely been a seismic sort of mind shift, hasn't there, in terms of how we work, or people are just lifting their limitations they've put on
Yeah,
themselves in the past, maybe.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's really interesting. So obviously, when launching a brand, you do like a competitive analysis, like who's out there. Now, obviously, the skincare market is saturated. There's a lot out there. So, did you have wobbles regarding that, or did you have like such a strong gut instinct that your brand can sit quite comfortably within all of that competition?
my gut instinct I thought was going to get me in a lot of trouble, because I just thought this is too strong to just not follow. Although I must say it's very intimidating, because what first time round when I wanted to do this back in the 90s, there weren't any celebrity brands.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
A couple of people said to me, are you mad, doing this now. There's all these celebrity brands, they've all got hundreds and thousands of followers, and you're just starting from out of thin air.
Mm.
But yeah, I think it was just my gut. My gut just kept saying to me, I believed so much in what the brand was about, our ethos, the formulas. I had been using the formulas for 9 or 10 months, I think, before they even went to market. And I think it was just my self-belief,
Yeah.
and I was being naive at the time. I had a lot of encouragement from my friends, my family, my husband, and I just thought, it can be really intimidating.
Yeah, I agree.
Too much on what's out there, you're never ever going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about naivety. I mean, I do think a lot of founders have found their naivety at the beginning almost a superpower, because I feel if you sit down and think about it really, really, really hard, and like you look at everything out
You're
there, as you say, it's
all unnamed,
intimidating.
you'll never do it, you know. But I think if you just really believe in your brand and you believe in your products, like I do, I think there's someone for every brand, and it's finding the right people, and
Your
it's
tribe. Yeah.
intent as well. How do you intend to make people feel about their skin, and what are you going to do for them? And when that feeling's really strong, I think you should just follow your feeling, really. I keep an eye on the competition, but I don't stress over it. I just focus more on how I'm going to make Face Junkie the best I can for our customers, and grow it, and just try and keep a nice sort of balance about it, really.
Yeah, no. So, so you launched Face Junkie. We talked about the competition. So, what was your sort of unique selling point for Face Junkie? It's like I think your tagline is basically simplified skincare, and it is simplified. You've
Yeah,
got 6 products, 3 for AM, 3 for
yeah,
PM, and then there's that hashtag system 1 to 6. So
yeah.
not too many people can get confused over that. So was that your USP when going to market?
No, it actually wasn't. No, it was our customers that created the USP. The hashtag system stole the thunder of our initial USP within months of
Oh,
launching. Because I had hundreds and hundreds of messages. I still get them every day from customers just saying, now I know what to use and in what order to use it in. My skin's transformed. I feel confident. I've got a routine. I've never had a routine in my life. I've just been using soap and then a vitamin C serum and then going out the door. Now I know I need to protect my skin when I've got vitamin C serum on. So the hashtag system became the USP, but the original was, I wanted to bring together high performing products with an aromatherapeutic effect. That was what I wanted, to kind of a fusion of spa and clinic
right.
together. But that kind of just went out the window.
Yeah, that's really interesting though, because at least you've listened to your consumer and you've run with what appealed to them.
Well, the reason the hashtag system came around was because when I did the 6 step, the prepare, prevent, protect for the morning, and the recleanse, replace, and regenerate for the evening, I said to my designer, I mean, I know what to do, but there's 6 products. How are they going to know, what to do, and what
Yeah.
order to use? And she said, "Oh, we'll do a hashtag system." And I said, "No, that will never work." I said, follow numbers, of course they're not. And it's been the making of the brand. That's all everyone talks about, is the hashtag
Yeah.
system. So yeah, so
And it's the use of the hashtag as well, because it looks so modern on the
yeah,
packaging,
yeah,
doesn't it?
I'm afraid I can't take any credit for the hashtag system. Or just in a design conversation, and it just happened. So I think it was meant to be, though.
But also, I mean, as a founder, you've been open-minded about, people bringing in like suggestions and
Yeah,
listening.
Yeah,
because I do feel like that is a big underrated skill in it is the listening. Like it's important, isn't it, to listen to your consumers. You've obviously listened to your creative, your
yeah,
design person with the hashtag. Because even if people don't say face junkie, they might say, oh, the brand with the hashtag number
yeah.
1 to 6.
Yeah, and also, with the hashtag system as well, even if you're only using one of our products and it's an AM hashtag two, at least you know that when you're looking in your shelf, hashtag two in the morning is your go-to, so you know that that's your second product to use, kind of
Yeah,
thing. So it works with and without, the whole range as well. Obviously, they work in synergy, but
yeah.
a few people have said that to me as well. Oh, I love your such and such a cream, and I know exactly when to use it, what time of day, and it's just such a nice feeling. And the whole journey this time round. Well, I say this time round. I mean, it was only a thought all those years ago, but in the lead up to launching, it was very, very much based on my old clients and what they used to ask me and the confusion that they used to have and apply. I mean, I remember, doing a facial, selling a bunch of products, and them just walking out like a rabbit in the headlights, thinking,
Mm.
"Why have you given me all these products, and what am I going to do with them?" So I took all that into account, and that's why I did the AM and PM, and then eventually the numbered system.
I mean, you spoke about the challenges of minimum order quantities, and obviously trying to launch at the beginning of COVID. What other big challenges have you come up against?
Um, I think the first kind of year or so was very much the manufacturing, meeting the criteria, with the numbers and things like that, and making sure everything was ethical, making sure everything was sustainable. That is the most important thing to me. I mean, you can buy plastic in tons, but I just wasn't prepared to compromise with that. Um, and then I think post launch, it's been social media has been an absolute just new world to me. My social media manager Leanne is, the most patient person in the world. She's absolutely incredible, and I mean, I still am learning every day about social media, and I think that was a massive challenge to me. Really, was learning about how to voice what I want out there online. I
Yeah,
do it on a one-to-one with a client, but how am I going to get that message out there? And Leanne executes that for me. I just literally tell her, we brainstorm, and then she'll do it all for me, and
yeah.
very much do all the content for it. And but it's really daunting not knowing if people are getting your message. I think that's what really worries me.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, content is so important, but also it's so important to get the content right for your
Yeah,
consumer. And at the end of the day, with your brand, it's about education, but they also want that edutainment where you entertain them as you educate them.
yeah, yeah.
So it's finding that balance as well. But you put yourself forward as a founder, don't you? I mean, you're on your own Instagram
Yeah,
talking and
I do because I think it's really important to know where your products are coming from, and I was very lucky years and years ago. I got trained with the distributor. I think that she bought SkinCeuticals over,
oh,
and for her passion for the brand. And I thought, I'm gonna, I think she used to go around doing all the training as well, and she trained us. And I really admired the fact that she was really hands-on. She never got anyone else to do her stuff. I'm really sorry, I can't remember her name. It was such a long time ago. Um, so I think it's really important to be transparent with the customers and just say, look, this is what I'm using, this is what I do. And I think that just builds
yeah.
trust.
Have you found it difficult putting yourself out there as the face of the founder? Because it's different, isn't it? Obviously, talking on one through a treatment to actually,
Yeah,
getting on a
it
video,
is.
doing it yourself.
It really is, because my daughter does all our content. She does all the videography, the reels, the photography. Um, so when we first started, I was just frozen, just, and over time she kept saying to me, just chat as if you're talking to me, just be yourself, just say whatever you want to say as if we're having a chat in the kitchen.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I think of when I do it. And also, I just love talking about the ingredients in the brand, and everything behind it. I think if you really feel passionate about something, is you're halfway there.
yeah, I agree. And yeah, and then that conversation flows because you know your product so well, you know how
Yeah,
people should be using it, you know your target audience, so that tone of voice, is
yeah.
right for them.
And then the nerves kind of dissipate just a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit.
Um, so we're talking about simplifying skincare, because it has become so overcomplicated, as I say. So, like, what do you think people's expectations of skincare are currently today? Because they expect it to do everything with bells on now, don't they?
Really, really demanding, really high, and they should be. They should be. People work so hard for their money, and we expect a lot. We expect a lot from skincare. I know that from working in the industry. I expect a lot from my skincare. I think every person does. And the thing is, again, based on messages that I get from customers, they're really overcomplicating everything. They've
Mm,
got a prescription from their GP, they've got a prescription from a clinic, they're buying this one and they're using retinol
yeah,
and it's just like, hold on, just wait a minute, just strip it back, do your 6 fundamental, ritual that you need to do for the day, like your AM and PM. AM is all about prevention and protection, and PM is all about restoring and regenerating. And then whatever problem you have on top of that, say you've got rosacea, just get one product and treat it at night with that one product, rather than just getting all these things. And then what they do is they oversensitize and then end up with sensitive
yeah.
skin. So
Because the buzzword at the moment, isn't it, is like, a breakdown of your skincare, of your skin barrier, isn't it? And like, people are suffering from perioral dermatitis that they've never experienced before because they're just using so many actives.
many actives and so many different things from different places, and they don't always work, in synergy together as well. And you can create sensitive skin. People aren't born with sensitive
Mm,
skin, they create it. So what my kind of, what I really want to get across is just strip it back, use your six elements, your just what you need to have basic good skin with a glow, and then figure out what's bothering you, whether it's open pores or fine lines, dehydration, dryness, whatever, and then just get an extra product to treat that on top. Once that's stable, then look at what else you can do,
yeah,
um, but when you walk into Boots as a consumer, I mean, it's like,
I
isn't
know.
it?
I think that's why, obviously, influencers have become, like, certain ones have become so trusted because they kind of do the shortcut to like good products, don't they? And like, because as you say, if you walk into a Boots, a Superdrug, a Space NK, whatever, like there's so many products, and you think,
Yeah,
God, where do I start? So people look for shortcuts for
they
recommendations.
do. They do. That's why we have UGCs who are amazing for us. We've got new ones, onboarding with us every day. We've got regular ones who talk about the brand. We've got our ambassador, charity shop girl. She just became part of us organically because she really just fell in love with the products. We only just gifted her, and then it just a huge amazing relationship happened. And
Yeah, that's nice. That's, I mean, that's an authentic brand though, isn't it? When you do build those relationships in that organic way. Because you've just, well, you obviously launched on online, like direct to consumer. Are you, so, and then you've onboarded onto the brand book, is that right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
so have you found that
yeah,
in terms of working with Beauty Bowl?
yeah. A few people have reached out to us, so that's ongoing conversations at the moment. So it's been really good. I just thought as soon as I was recommended to Beauty Bowl, I just thought it was such a good idea because you know you can't really get to speak or see people anymore. I mean, when I used to do PR or media back in the day, the journalists used to meet the journalists and that was it, and you'd done a facial and that was it. Now you can't really see anyone, so I just think the platform for two people or two industries to meet is
Yeah,
genius
I mean
because
it's so hard to. I mean, you know, the thing is with the brand book at the portal is, you know, sort of our it's basically a shopping site for buyers,
yeah,
uh, and you know, you just can't get hold of buyers as a normal person, can you? As a normal founder, it's very
you
hard.
really can't. It's really, really difficult. And we've had three big buyers, you know, already approach us. So, you know, conversations are happening. It's really exciting. So I'm really, really glad that we've done it. And also with the way that your page is set out as well, you can show them what you're about before you even start having conversations, where you don't have to kind of do the pitch and get really tongue tied and
Yeah,
nervous and that kind of, and also I think it attracts the right buyers because you know one brand might be a certain aesthetic that buyers are looking for, and you know another brand one might be another aesthetic that they're looking for. So I think it's attracting people that are the right fit for
yeah.
us.
I mean, ideally, like, where would you love to end up? Where would you like the brand to end
Oh,
up in terms
um,
of store on a site or?
I think at the moment we're just online and it's doing so well online. What my dream shop, do you
Yeah,
mean? Or
yeah.
well,
In your
I, I
fantasy face junkie world, where would you love
I
to end up?
thought I would love to be in Liberties. I worked in Liberties for a couple of years, and they really champion new brands,
Yeah, they do.
and they're such a cool store as
Yeah,
well. And if I saw a Face Junkie in there, I think I'd faint. I really, yeah, that's my go-to. I think my dream. We'll work on it.
yeah. I mean, because they're so, you know, it's such a great edit in there, isn't it? Because you know, they just obviously just don't take any brand, and they tend to take, you know, yeah, as you say, like small indie brands. So as a shopper, you're kind of introduced it in quite an intimate way, aren't you?
Yeah, and their shoppers from when I worked in there, their shoppers are so interested in new brands, not just new brands. I think just quirky brands,
Yeah.
you know, like ours, and just really not huge corporate big brands. I think they just really like sort of more exclusive.
Founder-led
Yeah,
brands, really.
yeah,
Yeah, founder-led brands.
yeah.
Um, I mean, who inspires you in business?
Um, Definitely small business owners. I met some last year at the show, and we all shared our stories and our, our pitfalls, and we all had kind of similar sort of ups and downs along the way. And they're very much like me. They followed their gut, and that's so. I really admire that kind of thing because it's really hard for a small brand.
And it can feel quite lonely at times, can't it?
It really does. It really does. But my husband really helps me and inspires me. He started a business about, I think it was 9 years ago in our kitchen, and made it into a massive success.
Wow. A kitchenpreneur. He's a kitchenpreneur.
And the whole time when I saw, sometimes we just wanted to give up, but he never ever gave up. And sometimes when I'm having my moments when something's not gone right, he will pick me up and just say, look, you can't let this, just get on with it, just go to bed now and get on with it tomorrow, kind of thing. And he's a real go-getter, and he will, he doesn't give up. So I've got that constant influence on me, beside me every day, which is
Yeah.
wonderful.
Well, I do feel everybody needs a wingman or a wing woman,
Yeah,
really, don't they, as a founder, because as we said, it can actually be quite lonely, and you can start navel gazing too much, can't you?
definitely. There has been times when I've just thought, oh God, what am I doing? He doesn't get involved with the day-to-day running of the company. I do everything, but then sometimes I'll just, he'll see that I'm really stressed, and he'll go, right, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
He's he's very methodic, where I'm a drama queen, and I'm so, oh, I'm not doing it, but he's so methodic, and he'll just carry me through that. But I'm learning. I've learned so much.
I think, yeah, it's funny because, most people are either right-brained or left-brained, aren't they? And I do feel like, if you are right-brained, which is the creative, you kind of need a left-brained person to come in that is quite analytical.
The voice of reason, yeah, the
Yeah,
diplomat.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Now, so finally, what are your plans for Face Junkie? Because the question I had is, obviously, you pitch yourself in as simplified, and you've got like 6 products which are easy to use. But as your NPD grows, the next one will be hashtag number 7, hashtag number 8. So how's that going
So
to kind
the way we're going to work it is, so the hero collection will always be an AM and PM 1 to 6, and then we're going to do targeted skin with the hero collection 1 to 6. So you'll have your AM and PM for combination skin, your AM and PM for compromised or sensitive skin, your AM, so the hero collection will always be 1 to 6, and then targeted skin types that will be in the future. So that will never change. We are working on 2 products at the moment, which is really exciting, which will complement the hero collection. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to be launching them in September. And they will work side by side with the AM and PM bundle. But really, the capsule collection will always be the same according to your skin type. The hero collection is all skin types. It's a nice pH balance for all skins. And then we're going to do targeted skincare with that same 1 to 6.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, it sounds like, you've got your sort of like focus in mind, like staying in your lane, not getting, too distracted by what's out there, and just like, yeah, a strong founder that's also a leader of yourself, which is always good,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. The 2 products we're working on now are all because of our customer messages. So I can't really say anything, but it's really exciting. So
And
that's what we're.
that's part of a brand success, is really listening to your consumer, and making them almost an integral part of your brand, which it sounds like that you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So we're working on it now. We've already had the first kind of formulation meeting with the chemists and the labs, and so yeah, it's all in progress. I'm really excited about it.
Oh, well, congratulations on your brand. It sounds amazing. And yeah, wishing you obviously continued success. And I'm sure the brand book will come to fore, maybe even an introduction to Liberties. You
Yeah,
just don't know.
watch the space. I'll let you know.
Yeah, watch this space.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much, Nicola. And I'll save this on the beauty bulb grid, and people
Oh,
can see your journey.
thank you so much.
Okay, thanks very much. Have a good day.
You too.
See you. Bye.